Welcome to this week's edition of Herbal Time Out from Amy the Herbalist. I'm reporting to you from the new apothecary at Remedy Ridge, and this wonderful space is below our home in the basement. So everything in here is climate controlled and nurtured in the earth and provided much healing and energy for me in this space. And I'm excited to be bringing this new video to you guys. On this week's Herbal Timeout, I wanted to show you guys how to make your own rose facial toner. And a lot of you asked, I did a post a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of you asked, how do you do that? Well, it's so simple, guys. There are a few things you're going to need. You're going to need probably a measuring cup, a strainer. You're going to need some witch hazel. I like double distilled witch hazel, and this is a brand you can grab at any box store. It does say double distilled right on the back of the label. It's a little bit more pure. If you can't find double distilled, there's always simple old witch hazel. Witch hazel is a toner. It's astringent. It tightens the skin. It closes our pores. It brings our pH level back to normal. So that's a very big plus when you are making this rose facial toner at home by yourself. Another thing you might need are some tops for your mason jars, an empty mason jar. If you can see, this is just a simple old jelly jar, but it just happened to be a ball jar, so I kept it because that's what all herbalists do. We have 10,000 empty bottles in our apothecary to use for whatever. So you're going to want an empty jar, something that you can tighten. When you're using things that are acidic, like witch hazel and maybe alcohol when you're doing a tincture, you do want to make sure that you put a piece of wax paper between your jar and your seal and before you close it, because if you don't, you're going to get those mason jars that like to rust on you. Ugh, who wants that, right? Well, lo and behold, the powers that be have come out with a plastic leak-proof jar that fits on most of your wide mouth jars. So this is the alternative if you want to keep your jars from rusting. It is plastic, so a lot of you might not want to use that in your products for PBA purposes. So, with that being said, let's get started. One thing you want to do is make sure you have some dried rose petals on hand. This is how I dry mine. This is a, don't laugh, this is a picture frame that the glass broke, and what I've done is attached some feet to the bottom and added some repurposed screening to the top. So now air can flow above and below, all the way around, air can circulate. This is some dried rose petals I have from the garden. You see they're nice and dry. I don't know if you can tell all the different colors, so these are all my different colored roses. But what you're going to want to do is, I have gathered some of these already. You want to grab your dried rose petals. Make sure when you have rose petals that you're going to use for this process, you want to make sure that they are not from a florist. They have not been sprayed with pesticides. This is going on our skin and into our pores. So you want to make sure that this is chemical-free roses. The best ones that you can find are the ones growing in your garden, or your grandma's garden, or your best friend's garden. Make sure you ask permission before you take them, because people don't like to do that sometimes. They get excited about the flowers and they go get them. Ah! So make sure you get permission from your people. All right, here we go. We're going to take a jar. We're going to fill it 3/4 of the way with dried rose petals. Can you use fresh rose petals? The answer to that is yes. Why do we not want to do that, however? Well, the reason for that is your rose petals contain moisture. Moisture can cause mold to grow. We do not want mold growing in our product that we have tried to harvest over these last few weeks. So, take a jar, fill it 3/4 full. Take some witch hazel. Y'all, this is going to be really hard. Ooh, I don't know if you can handle it at home by yourself. Probably should have opened this jar before the video. Sorry, guys. So you're going to take your jar, 3/4 full of rose petals, dried. Oh, look how easy, everybody. Take your jar, fill it to the absolute top with your witch hazel. Guess what you do next? I didn't bring it with me. You put a piece of wax paper on top. You put your top on it. You give it a little shake to make sure that all of your rose petals have touched the witch hazel. You're going to take this, you're going to sit it aside on your counter, in the kitchen, in your bathroom. Just make sure it's not in the sun. You're going to take it and sit on your counter, and every day for the next few weeks, you're just going to give it a little shake. It's arm day! Woohoo! No gym day. So you're just going to give it a little shake, and in a couple of weeks, see if you can see the difference. Fresh, been sitting on the counter for a couple of days. See how the rose petals have lost all of their color? That's what you're looking for. When you see that your rose petals have lost all their color, you grab yourself a little container with a handle and a pour spout, because if you don't do that, you make a mess. Trust me. Been there. Done that a few times. Take your, I forgot a funnel. So you're going to need a funnel. What do you do when you don't have a funnel? Watch this. Oh, look. It's a paper towel. Pour your mixture. Well, that didn't work. Sorry. Y'all know I only do this one time. If I don't get it right the first time, I don't do it again. I'm video challenged, guys. This should help. Okay, so we're going to take our clean jar. Clean, dry jar. No water. Make sure there's no water in it. And you are going to pour the liquid into your container. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Make sure you get all the liquid from your rose petals too. So just give them with clean hands. Give them a little squeeze. And just release all that juice from your petals. Making sure that you don't get the petals down in there. What happens if you get the petals down in there? Nothing. They might clog up your spray bottle if you get petals in there. That's what will happen. So, can you see that gorgeous color? See how pretty that is? Oh, look at it. It's gorgeous. This batch was made with my Dolly Parton roses. Y'all, you know me, I love a good Southern woman. So these are my Dolly Parton roses. You can see how dark they dry. I've had some other roses in the garden, and they are not as dark when they're dried. The color of your herbal preparation will be pretty much whatever color roses you have. So these are a few I picked today to show you. To show you from the garden. Y'all. So I've got magenta, I've got a salmon, I've got pink, I've got this little coral color. And these were all the fresh ones I picked today. So, what can you do now? Now that you have this gorgeous preparation. I use it as is, just like this. If it's summertime and you want to add a little cooling, you want to use it like a facial mist. Oh, it feels so good. Use it as a facial mist. You can add a few drops of peppermint essential oil, or any kind of mint, really. Anything cooling that you would like. And I would say in a container this size, maybe 10, 15 drops. Well, how do we get it to our face? Here we go. Again. Y'all, real hard. You take it. Oh no, this funnel isn't going to work. That's why y'all love my videos, because I'm real, right? I'll make a mess. So, you take your preparation, put it in a squirt bottle. Whoop. Don't overfill it. All right. Add your topper to it. If you've seen my videos, one thing I will tell you is do this immediately so that you do not forget, because you will forget what you've made and what the date was when you made it. So, how do I do that? I take my good old painter's blue tape, cut off a tab, grab my Sharpie, put today's date on it. So what we're going to do is put rose, toner, date. Put your top on your Sharpie. Throw it on your bottle. I am using glass. You can use plastic. This is one I make, but I just put the label on this bottle because I reuse plastic. So Make sure you put your label on it. Rose toner with your date, the date you made it. This is alcohol or witch hazel based, so it should last you until you use it up, at least several months. There you go. And then what do? I don't know. I just shaved my legs. What do I do now? Oh, I bring it and I put it on the legs. And guess what it does? Ooh, that dry skin from shaving tones it right up, closes up those pores, keeps you from chafing. What else can you do? I just got out of the shower. I've cleansed my face. My pH level is acidic from the soap. What do? Oh, you squirt your face. Give it a few pumps. Let it dry. Let it dry. And then apply your moisturizer, because the toner tones and tightens our skin back before we put our moisturizer on. It also helps the moisturizer take better, so you don't have that oily residue on your skin if you use your toner, people. So, again, that's it. Hopefully, petals into a jar, cover it with witch hazel, sit it on the counter, shake it daily, strain it, put it in your favorite bottle. By the way, alcohol bottles, liquor bottles, with a little pump spray on top. The bottles are so cute. Okay, and that's it. Rose facial toner. And again, if you want it cooling, don't forget your little peppermint spray or your peppermint essential oil, okay? And that is it for this week's Herbal Timeout. Hopefully that was entertaining for one, because y'all know I only do this once. If I don't get it right, I don't do it again. And entertaining and informative, and hopefully you see that this is something you can make at home. Easy peasy. Biggest thing to remember is make sure your rose petals are from someone's garden, hopefully yours, and you're not taking them. And they're not sprayed with pesticides, and they're not from a florist, because typically those are sprayed with pesticides. And that's it. Thanks for hanging in. Thanks for being a part of this week's Herbal Timeout. Talk to you soon. If you have any questions, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. Talk to you soon, guys. See, I don't know how to turn off my camera.